Alrighty, guys, you're watching Statchat Sports here, and we have another segment of our budget team builders. This one's been going pretty well on the channel. What we get you guys to do is make your best team $10 from the players that we've got listed here on the screen. Best team that we like in the YouTube comments is going to win some Statchat merch. So make sure you're commenting with your team and telling us who your favourite team is out of the four of us here at Statchat Sports. Steve, I'm going to you first. Out of the lineup of defenders that we've got listed here, we need you to come up with your best backline possible.
You made this really hard, mate, because you put some serious stinkers in there. I wanted to avoid Jackson Nelson and Witherden at all costs.
It's a non-negotiable.
Both terrible. I had to settle for one to do what I wanted to do. Yeah, look, I've settled for him, but honestly, I'll build this defense with $9 and just leave him out.
Good call.
So I've gone Sam Collins for $3, Alir for $4, obviously Nelson for $1, and then Jaden Hunt, Melbourne lad for $2.
Yeah, okay. Was there a player in particular? It looks like Alir was the must get for you. What did you like about him?
Especially based on last season's form, he was probably up there for one of the best intercept markers in the comp. So I like what he does. Yeah, pretty much as soon as I saw that list, he was the one that stood out for me. So I had to try and work around him, and then that was the best I could come up with.
Yeah, not bad. Nice. Tazza, did you go the Port Adelaide man as well yourself?
No, I wanted to, but
really?
I couldn't bring myself to go Jackson Nelson, so I had to go down another route. That is my second team. That's my backup team, so I will go for my original one. I went with Collins as well at $3. I think he's very underrated. I have got an export player in here though. I have taken Dougal Howard at $2.
Doug?
Not a star, but he's serviceable in my opinion. The one player I really wanted to go for, and you're probably not going to, I know you three won't like it being Eagles supporters, but Bruzzy Maynard. I'm a big fan of Maynard. I love the aggression he brings, and I think he's a great player, so I'd taken him at $3. And then I've chucked in Jaden Hunt for $2 at the end there.
Perfect. That is the perfect team, Taz. I'm right there with you. That is an absolute rip snorter of a lineup. And I particularly love the Doog. I think the Doog at $2, the human fist, just an absolute weapon down there for the Saints. That is a ripping lineup. Don't mind that at all.
Thank you very much.
BT, over to you. Have you gone the same as us as well, or you got something different?
I've actually gone completely different to all three of you guys.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll start off with Ryan Gardner at fullback. I think he's a solid player. So solid fullback, nothing fancy at all. Because I wanted Stephen May. I think he's by far the best defender in the league. I think intercept and defending, disposal, he can do it all as a centre half / fullback. So I had to compromise somewhere. So I went with Maynard as well. I like he can play big and small, and he brings that aggression as well. I'm with Tazza on that. And then Big Witho.
Oh, no.
I've gone with him. I've gone with Witho.
Oh, no.
The butcher.
He's fourth in the league for marks.
I don't care. He gives
because he's part of a defense that has conceded the most points. What do you expect him to do?
I couldn't go Nelson. You would have to pay me to pick Nelson. That was not happening. There's no shot. So Witho it was.
I thought you were tempted by Taz's man Luke Brown there, the Ages of Wonder. Surprised no one went for him.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I can't pick him either because I don't know his age.
Yeah.
If you are wondering what we're talking about, go back and check the Adelaide pre-season video that we did. Taz are getting a lot of hate in the comments for calling Luke Brown a young man, not realising he was 29 years old. Just terrific stuff.
I've never heard of the bloke. Just goes to show how good he is.
Yeah, well, if you want Luke Brown in your team for $2, make sure you put your comment below, or anyone for that matter, a team for $10. The best team is going to win some Statchat merch. And we've been doing it all year with our team builder segment. We've got a couple of guys that have taken home the shirts as well. They're pretty happy with them. So if you want to get on board, make sure you get involved, leave a comment, and let us know whose team you like the best as well. Now, we don't mind you plagiarising. In fact, I think we've given the shirt to people that have picked our teams before as well, just because we like the validation. So let us know. Hit us up in the comments below. We want to hear from you guys. Alrighty, heading over to BT's Game of the Week. Very important segment this week because we've got less games to watch. So it's all the more important, BT, that we pick out an absolute cracker that if you've only got time to sit down and watch one game, you watch this game in particular. Where are we going? Where are we heading?
Just to talk myself up, I've nailed it nearly every week so far. So
you have. They've been absolute crackers most weeks.
And we're going with the Twilight game on Sunday. Fremantle versus Brisbane. This is one of the biggest games for the season, I reckon. This is massive. Last week you tried to give me a bit of shit for not going over my stats. So I went through every single stat this one, and I've got 2 that stood out. Okay. Maybe three actually. So Brisbane averaged 10 more contested possessions, but Fremantle averaged 31 more uncontested possessions.
Hey.
That's a massive difference. So if it's fair weather, lock Fremantle in. If it's wet, lock Brisbane in.
Have you checked the forecast?
Yeah, it's meant to be fine. So
yeah.
But the other one, what I saw was interesting. Fremantle averaged around 5 bounces a game, where Brisbane only averaged about 1.7, I think it was.
5 bounces.
So from what this tells me, Fremantle like to get the ball on the open side switch a lot, where Brisbane get the ball first and get it forward type game. So it's completely different styles is how it looks. And Brisbane averaged, I think, 6 or 7 more inside 50 contested marks. It's going to be a very interesting game based on stats.
Tazza, interested to hear what you think about this one. Freo got the lid off a little bit early. Flagmantle was up and about. They had a couple of poor weeks. J-Lo sat the team down, set them aside, said, look, fellas, pull your heads in. All right. Now they come out, beat the best team in the comp. Do you think it goes to their head again? Do you think this is just going to unsettle the Dockers at home and they might they might not win this game?
I'm going to back BT's stats here. I think the stats don't lie. I mean, take the weather prediction in here, and I think Freo will get it done. I think they've learned probably not to underestimate after losing to Collingwood and the Gold Coast before the Melbourne win. I think they would have learned to not be complacent. I think they would have taken enough lessons from that. And I'm going to back them in. I reckon they can get it done. I don't know what the status on Joe Danaher is or McStay.
McStay was back last week, so he'll be all right.
Oh, he was back last week.
Smoke and Joe, I don't think will be back, or McCluggage as well for that matter.
Because I think Danaher, it was touted that he would come back for this game. I think when he did originally do his injury, so it's a big watch there. I like you said, I don't think he's back, but regardless, I think Freo have got enough to tackle it.
Steve, I want to turn my attention to you here because there's been a lot of talk about conditions so far, and you are a man that hates the excuse of conditions when talking about teams. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I'm torn, to be honest. I'm torn. I don't... Yeah, look, let's just throw the conditions out. It doesn't matter. I think it purely just comes down to who's going to be better on the day. Like, I think what Tazza said is pretty spot on in terms of Fremantle have probably learned a lesson not to underestimate their opponents. And I think, it might be one of those things with a bit of a younger squad that you see, when they come across these better teams or these best teams that they have, obviously Melbourne last week and Brisbane this week, they know and they tell themselves, look, if we actually want to win this game, we're going to have to play our best footy. Whereas, take it back to a couple of weeks ago against Collingwood and Gold Coast and after a few wins under their belt, maybe it gets to their head and they think, oh, this is probably an easy game, a bit of a walk in the park. So they sort of take the foot off the gas. But I think going back to Brisbane, they know to beat them, they're going to have to be 100 or 110% at their best. So, they can't afford to, be laxy or, have a few players that are playing pretty average or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm kind of torn, but at the same time, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Fremantle just because of what they did to Melbourne. And if they play to their full potential, they could maybe scrape a win here too.
All right, quick fire tips, fellas. BT, you've got no one to help you this week. No tips from Benny Cousins. So who are you locking in for this one?
I'm going Fremantle, 6 goals plus.
Ooh.
Sheesh.
Yeah,
I
reckon they're going to get it done.
Almost a
I don't like
prediction.
Brisbane. I don't like Brisbane how they play away from home, especially coming over to Perth.
Interesting. Tazza?
Yeah, Freo take home the chocolates and the Lockie Neal derby.
Steve, you're on board?
Yeah. Based off of what I just said, I think Fremantle. It'll be close though for me. But
Yeah,
Fremantle win.
I hate talking about conditions, but at the end of the day, it looks like it's going to be a dry game. Fremantle undefeated when it's dry so far this season. Fremantle getting it done against Brisbane and cementing themselves, I think, as the second best team in the competition. Should be an absolute cracker. If you're a fan of either team, let us know in the comments below who you think's going to win and why. We may have to get our special guest, Goody, big Brisbane fan, back on the pod next week to review it all. So stay tuned for that one if you are a fan of either team. Alrighty, fellas, we've reached that time of the video. It's our favourite segment here on the show, bold predictions. Now, Steve, obviously you are riding a bit of a down wave this week. Your long-standing bold prediction of Melbourne going undefeated is done and dusted. So what that means is you're really going to need a lift here. The reason that you are our man that judges these bold predictions is because of that Melbourne call. You're going to need to back it up. You're going to need to stand up and deliver this week with a cracking bold prediction.
Yeah, I fear for the loss of my job here, to be honest. Like,
and you should. And you really should.
Take it from the other two boys, Joshy. I'm afraid you got a long way to go, mate, before you can take the reins here.
Oh no!
I think the comments can back us up on that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Sportsnut 129 just sinking the boot in. I was looking for support, mate, and you've just come down on me with like a ton
Talk
of
about
bricks.
kicking while he's down.
Yeah. But anyway, you would have noticed that Tuk was nowhere near it, by the way. So it was a bold call. Just saying.
So having said that, we're looking for a bounce back from you, Josh. I want to hear yours first. Blow the socks off, mate. Go on.
Okay.
Floor is yours.
Well, I'm sticking it with the game of the week. Freo, Brisbane. I'm keeping it simple this week because you always say I go really convoluted and try to mix it up and give a little bit of pizzazz. Nice and simple. Lockie Neal against his old team. Record best AFL fantasy score. He's going 169 plus.
That's huge, isn't it? I mean, you boys have more fantasy than me. That's massive. Is it not?
I think it did the second highest for the season.
Yeah.
It's a pass from me, and I think it's a pass from the boys as well. Good way to bounce back, Joshy. Let's see what the listeners think, though. They might even be a bit more harsh than me.
I can't wait to see it.
From what we've seen so far. All right. Tazza, the floor is yours.
I'm going back to where Josh was last week. I am going to the Gold Coast. I don't want to hear
any talk about conditions in this, Tazza. No humidity, no conditions. None of that.
No, I'm leaving conditions out for once.
As if you tell me Tuk's going to get 40 plus, I'll pass it.
No,
we're not. You're kidding.
We're not going to Tuk. We're going to the Twin Towers. There in Casbolt and Shoal. I've got Gold Coast winning by 10 goals. And look, their mosquito fleet seems to get it done quite often. They don't usually kick many goals together. So I've got them kicking I reckon 8 between. Eight, and they win by 10 goals.
So 8 goals for Chol and Casbolt, and they win by 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they're going to win by 10 anyway. I think they nearly
Melbourne,
beat
mate.
Hawthorn by 10 goals.
What about 10 goals? They win by 10 goals and they kick 10 between them.
It's
I
better.
think that's all right.
It's getting there. Yeah. It's just hard. It's hard. No,
It's all right.
It's it's hard because it's North Melbourne, and it's not difficult to kick a lot of goals against them. But yeah, no, 10 between the two. Yeah, that's better than the 8. I think. Who's kicking more?
Chol.
Okay.
I think 6 to Chol, 4 to Casbolt.
And just throwing it out there, humid conditions in Northern Territory as well makes it hard for the key forwards.
Oh, they're going to defy the odds. They're going to do it.
No, that's a pass from me. ET.
All right. I'm heading to probably the second game of the week in Adelaide versus West Coast. What a cracker game that's going to be.
God, snooze fest.
I'm going with I'm going Josh's route. The double record.
Yes.
At Adelaide Oval. The most goals kicked at Adelaide Oval was 8 by Jay Schultz back in 2014 against Bulldogs.
Jay Schultz. I
Kicked
love
8.
that.
What a weapon. What a weapon.
So I'm going with Big Texan to kick 10. His highest is 7. His highest is 7. Straight 10.
Wow.
Easy.
Ooh.
That's like chuck your money on that, chuck your house on that. That's like nearly guaranteed. Like
I think
Who's
based on
gonna
the
play on him?
confidence alone right there, that might just be enough to pass it. I mean, if you're that confident, yeah,
I don't know who's going to play
a good
on
goal. Oh, probably Nelson.
Harry Edwards.
Harry
He might
Edwards.
throw
Oh,
Callum
exactly.
Jamison back again.
He'll probably kick 6 of them outside the 50. The Eagles aren't going to be able to stop him.
No, I like that. I can see that playing out, and that would be good to see.
How much did you pick the Eagles? How much did you pick Adelaide to win by?
I didn't say, but I think they're going to pump the Eagles. Well, the Eagles' average concede points is 116, so the average losing margin is 70 points as well across the whole season. So it'll be 10 goals. I think Adelaide will win by 10 plus goals.
Good stuff, lads. Good stuff.
All right, go on, Steve.
Big expectations on you.
Come on, Steve.
I'm a bit worried now. I kind of think it's okay, but it's anyway. Let's just get it going. Bulldogs and Geelong. That game, we're seeing another game where both sides kick over 100 points. I think between the two. I think for the Doggies, Waitman and Norton will combine for 10, and on the Cats, it'll be the dynamic duo of Cameron and Hawkins combined for 10 on their side.
You're going a double 10.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
You're kidding me.
That's ridiculous. I don't think that's ever happened. When I went over all those stats those few weeks ago, that wasn't even close. There wasn't even anything close to that. That's just ridiculous.
Look, you know what else also hasn't happened? I mean, I know it's not going to, but a team go through undefeated. That was the talk of the town up until last week. So, possible.
That is a bold prediction. I love that. Because you had Cameron and Hawkins for 10 plus last week, and that didn't come up. And now you're doubling down.
Yeah, I'm doubling down. They're two of the best key forwards in the comp, so difficult not to back them.
You're doubling down against a better team too.
Yeah, that's all right. It's all good.
That is a bold prediction. I love that, Steve. You had no chance of that paying off, but I love the boldness of the call. If you've got bold predictions in the comments, let us know, because we love hearing you in the comments and getting your feedback. And if you want to sink the boot in, I won't be happy about it, but I respect the comments and I'd love to hear your opinions. Just before we wrap up, big few weeks coming up here at Statchat Sports. We're going to be putting out a fair bit of AFL content over the next few weeks. Tazza, mid-season bye, so you're going to be up and about with Professor Tazza's grades. They're going to be coming thick and fast, so going to be plenty of content from you. Looking forward to seeing your results on that one, Tazza.
Yeah, mate. I'll be pumping them out thick and fast. We'll have a look and see where everyone sits, but I'm definitely looking forward to it.
And keep an eye on the channel as well. Brand new video or brand new show that we're going to be putting out. Bit of an AFL quiz, bit of a footy quiz, a bit of a sports quiz theme show. So BT is going to be putting on the blazer and hosting the show. And we're going to be looking for you guys at home to be getting involved. So stay tuned next week because we'll give you a little bit more information about that one, BT. And looking forward to you looking pretty crisp on the pod.
Yeah, that's gonna be wicked fun, I reckon. So make sure you tune into that. The number one AFL podcast on the earth. All right, make sure you tune in.
There'll be some people out there that won't be very happy with that call, but you heard it here first. Fellas, nice work. Love the bold predictions. Think you've done very well. Good work on the pod tonight, fellas. We'll keep that up. We'll keep it coming all season long. Remember, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Closing in on 200 subs. We're looking forward to getting there and raising the bat for the double ton. Aside from that, let's wrap it up. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.